Hello, my name is Jani. Welcome to my channel. This is a cross stitch channel where we talk about cross stitch and projects and fabrics and flosses. And we make plans about our stitching and we share our journey with these stitched pieces and the adventures and the inspiration and topics related to cross stitch. I'm so glad that you're here with me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a Mexican stitcher who loves to stitch and to talk about cross stitch. So please feel really welcome. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you again for being here with me. Join the party again. And yeah, this video I'm really glad because I want to share with you some finished projects that I just got this last week. So yeah, I'm really excited to share these finishes. And I know that these videos, these floss tubes, which are how we call these YouTube videos regarding cross stitch. We call them floss tubes or floss tube. Um, it's not always about showing a finished project or a new stash or new charts or fabric or flosses, because sometimes we feel as floss tuber that pressure, that like a duty to show you something new, something exciting, something, and it slowly became something that is not always enjoyable. So I don't know if many floss tubers have this feeling that sometimes we want to show you interesting content, but cross stitch, it's a really slow process. And as stitchers, we understand that. And that's for we not always show new finishes or new things, or but the idea, I think, is to share this journey, this process, many times a very slow process, but always enjoyable. And we as stitchers, we know all this experience. And I think it should be, as a floss tuber, or at least for me, is the happiness to share through these videos that experience, that process, that in my case, or in many cases, that creative process of choosing a new project, stitching some part of that project, changing perhaps flosses, or perhaps keep it the same as the pattern says. And is that process, is that communication that inspire us, that can teach us something, because we learn every day with different stitchers from their experience. So I think as a floss tuber, as I always mention, I make these videos because I love to make them, because I love to talk about cross stitch, my love for cross stitch. And I know there are many stitchers who perhaps enjoy this chat with Jani about cross stitch, and it's something enjoyable. So we need to pass that pressure that we feel, to show something new and to have amazing content every time, because the cross stitch process is this slow and beautiful and creative period of time that we are sharing through these videos. So yeah. Sorry for the little rant, but I don't know, I think it's important that we connect through these videos. And I know I'm talking with friends, and I know you understand this point of view of our stitching. and hopefully you still enjoy watching these videos, and it's not always, shiny new things, but it's more like sharing this experience as teachers around the world. And that in itself, it's something wonderful. I am sharing with you, all over the world, and we can be stitching the same project, me here in Mexico, and all stitchers around the world, in the United States, in Europe, in Russia, in South America, and it's amazing. So yeah, this is more talk to me, how I need to, keep it simple, and try to keep it enjoyable. So yeah, I hope you enjoy also my videos too. So welcome to my channel. This is a cross stitch channel. My name is Jani, and I'm so glad that you are here. So this time, this video, I want to share you a few projects, that I finished, some flosses, some, talks about cross stitch. So let me start, because it's really early. Well, I finished two projects. I have two projects to show you. The first one, it's from Blackbird Design, and it's a beautiful sampler. It's from this book, Oh La La. And I started this project a couple of months ago. I really wanted to stitch this project, and with the passing of Barbara, I felt like it was, just appropriate to stitch along with many stitchers around the world, a tribute to Barbara Adams. And this is the project that I choose to stitch. It's a bit of spring, and if you see, it's a really, beautiful and classic sampler with these lovely colors, and very, very feminine, very girly and beautiful. So I decided to make it a little different. So I use an Aida, a printed Aida, and I decided to stitch it as a monochromatic sampler. So here is my finished sampler from Blackbird Design, a bit of spring, and I love the result. We can be stitching the same project and change the colors and change the fabric, and we will end with a different result, but the beauty of the pattern is still there. So I think that is the case. Oh, I want to to make a disclaimer. I have the screen of my cell phone is broken, so you have this weird reflection. I'm so sorry, but it's part of the show. So yeah, I am so in love of this project. It looks, again, different from the original, but keeps that beauty of the pattern. So yeah, and the fabric, it's a little weird how this fabric, it helps as a background, and it's different, and yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And I love to stitch my red samplers, as a red sampler with the DMC 115. It's a lovely, lovely floss. It's a cotton floss, of course, as a DMC, but I think it gives this lovely variation in the color. And yeah, when I use variegated floss, I stitch one cross at a time to achieve that variation, but you can stitch as you wish. Yeah, and this was a really quick project, And it was funny because I took this project with me at my job at the office, and in the lunch breaks, I start stitching this project, 10, 15 minutes each day. And I'm usually more like a long periods of time stitcher. Um, between the weekdays, I only stitch 1 hour at night, and mostly the weekends, I can stitch, on Saturdays or Sundays, 4 hours, and I really progress on my projects. But in this case, I stitch just 10, 15 minutes, and you still get a lot of progress. Who knew? Not me. Because I always thought that no, if I don't have enough time, I can, progress on my projects. But that is not true. You can stitch, and I was not used to that, to stitch, a few minutes. And because I stitch on hand. I just take my little bag with the floss, and in this case, well, it was just one color, and it was really practical. And yeah, that's why I finished this project in my lunch breaks. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And the frame, it's a little cheap plastic frame that Carlitos, my husband, helped me to cut and to adjust to the right size of the project. And we added this like all gold, finish, to keep it a little more classic. But yeah, I really really love it. I think it's a lovely project. And yeah, for my wall of samplers that I start a couple of years ago, and it's keeping, bigger. So yeah, that was my first finish. And before I show you the other one, I want to share with you some of the cards. These are the drop um, thread holders. Well, in this case, oops, it's not a drop. There are different shapes, and I am participating in the trade that Michelle from Mama Loves You GB organized. And me, I always try to incorporate the Spanish community, the Latin American community. So we also did this activity, and the hashtag is tarjetas que nos unen, cards that keep us together. And yeah, it has been so much fun, and I have all these cards for my flosses, and I'm so happy for that. And again, having this connection with the stitchers community through these little envelopes, traveling around the world with these details from another stitcher, is something that always amazed me and always made me feel so happy. Are these little details that again keep me inspired, keep me motivated, let me understand that even though this stitching activity, it's mostly a lonely activity, because you stitch in your little chair with your fabric, with your flosses, and you are doing this, but you are connected with the stitchers around the world. So these are my cards, and I use all these cards for my flosses. I love to keep it like that, but I wanted to display these lovely cards in a nice way. So I had this metal cage. So I decided to make this little arrangement of some of the cards that I've been receiving, and I think it looks so pretty. And I don't know if it was not the original idea, but it looks like a little Christmas tree, because I put the box, as the base, and it looks like a little thread holder Christmas tree. So I'm going to put some lights inside to make a lovely little lamp. So yeah, they are so pretty, and they are from stitchers around the world. And again, it's so lovely to be part of this amazing community. So, um, well, a little bit talking about these floss cards. Let me show you how I keep. I start a few years ago, a couple of years ago, my collection of CXC flosses, which are these polyester flosses, polyester threads that the numbers are the same as the DMC. So I can use, DMC or CXC to stitch my projects. And I really like to stitch with them. They have, pros and cons. They are polyester, they are not cotton like DMC or Anchor flosses. And the color match is not exact. Some of the colors are a little off, some are lighter, some of them are darker. So yeah, they are not, exactly the same color, but I really enjoy use them. They are really cheap, in comparison with DMC versus DMC. So I always try to make my stitching more sustainable. So yeah, sustainable. So yeah, I always try to find, a substitution in fabric, because I use, again, local fabric that is not linen or Lugana, because that is a really expensive fabric for me. So yeah, that happened with the CXC flosses, that you can order them on, the AliExpress and all those Wish and all those kind of sites. I am very lucky because locally my needlework store sells these flosses. So I don't order them online. I just, go to my my local store and I got them. They are, a little expensive that if I order online, but I prefer just buy them here. So yeah, but they are like a third part of the equivalent of the DMC. So for the price of one DMC, I can get 3 or 4 CXC. So for me, it's very attractive to use those flosses. And the most important thing is that I love how they look. Perhaps they could be really cheap, but if I can use them, what's the point? But yeah, I really like to stitch with them. They are a little thicker than DMC, and they are also a little, have this little like fuss. Not so much, but you can absolutely work with them. But yeah, those are things to consider it. But yeah, if you have the opportunity, give them a try. Perhaps you can enjoy working with them. And the thing that I don't like is that I can dye those flosses, because they are polyester and you need a different type of dyes to paint those flosses. So for that, I like my cotton flosses, better for the dyeing process. But yeah, and I have my DMC flosses on plastic boxes, with the bobbins. And for this CXC, I decided to use this little trunk, this little box. It's really pretty. I really love it. And I decided to use it as a little drawer. So here are some of my here are some of my flosses. All of these are CXC, and as I mentioned, I have used them, in many of my projects, and I really like the way they look and how I can stitch with them. So yeah, this is my little CXC collection. I don't have the full collection. You can order the full range of colors, the DMC numbers, the full collection, and it's, if you buy it like that, it's even cheaper. But I decided to, as I'm going to, I decide to use these flosses on one of my projects. Then I got those, exact flosses, and if I already have it, that's okay. So yeah, this is my little CXC collection. And because, as I mentioned, I have been using those flosses, I'm going to show you here. Here she is, my latest finish. She's Botanical Garden by Mirabilia, and I love her so much. I wish you can all come here to my, stitchy corner and watch this beauty, because she's really, really something else. This is one of my favorites, Nora's design. I've been, a fanatic of Mirabilia for many, many years. I have more than 30 projects, 35 projects stitched, because I have many patterns. But this lady here is so amazing. I love her so much. This idea was one of my dreams. I always wish that Nora could make a design with a close-up of her beautiful, fairies or mermaids, as she did with Santa in the design Santa, where you can see, the face in a really beautiful close-up of Santa Claus. And yeah, I think she did that idea with this project, and I love her. I stitched her in this is a Lugana 32 that I dye with paper, with color paper. I have a video in my channel how I paint my fabric, some of my fabrics with paper, and I love how this fabric looks. So I decided to use it for botanical. And as I mentioned, I use CXC flosses, so the colors are a little different from the original. And I also made a conversion of her skin, so the colors of her skin are different from the originals, because lately I am enjoying so much to make that conversion, because representation matters. And I think I love Nora's design, but I really need, as a stitcher, and to put my style in these pieces. And I'm so glad, because Nora has this new collection of zodiac ladies, and the last ladies that she designed are women of color, and they are so beautiful. I love them. And of course, pieces, my sign. Here is my little fish. It's a woman of color, so I probably will stitch her soon. So yeah, I love this design so much. And I also changed the beads. I use the beads that I got locally. I have some of mill heels, but lately I don't get the mill heels for my miras. I decide to change the colors of the beads and add more. But yeah, I love her so much. She's so beautiful. I changed the detail of her crown to finish as like golden leaves. So I added, gold beads and backstitch with gold metallic thread to make this backstitch as a leaves. So yeah, this is my finish. She's lovely. The moment this design came out, I was in love, and everybody else was in love, because there are so many stitchers that are, stitching this same design. And again, we all give our stitching, our personality, and we try to make it our own, even though we use the materials from the original pattern. We change it. So yeah, I love to personalize my projects. And yeah, the color of the skin, I have been changing, making this conversion in my latest miras, and it has been an adventure, and I feel so proud of this. And I see really not much difference, but looking at some of my old stitching, you can see really, really well the difference in the skin color. Let me show you. I have a couple of pieces. This, for example, is Cathedral. And you can see, again, a beautiful design. I choose this green fabric that I dyed, which is very similar to the color of the dress, but I think she looks so pretty. And you can see the color of her face, and you can see here Botanical, and you see this face, this cathedral face, the color, and it's so light, beautiful, but so light. And again, with Lady of Mystery, which is a really big girl. Let me show you. You can see, again, beautiful design. This was a Monaco fabric that I dyed, and the skin so pretty, so beautiful, and so light. So in comparison, with Botanical, you can then see the difference. But yeah, I love her. And as I mentioned, let me put here. That's why I don't put glass on my frames. And as I mentioned, I'm lately trying to make that conversion with my pieces. And this is Lady Fairy Flora, which I stitched a couple of months ago. And again, you can see the color of her skin, a little darker. And I love this design so much. And here I'm using, I use DMC, but the fabric count, it's a local fabric. It's a cotton fabric that I got. It's like 36, 38 count, not an even width, but I love it. And I dyed this fabric in a really light green and gray, and I use a lot of local beads. So yeah, she's so pretty. my little fairy Flora, which was the pattern was a gift from Katy, and I love that pattern because she stitched fairy Flora, and she marked the pattern. I don't really, mark my patterns, but she did, and I love to see that pattern, used by another stitcher, and have the honor to use again with Fairy Flora. So really exciting. And another of my personalization was, of course, Katarina, which is originally Eliana, where I changed her face to represent Katarina, a very main character of Dia de los Muertos. Yeah, I'm really loving make these projects my own, and add different touches, and changing colors, and making conversion, and try to make this hobby, this form of art, sustainable for me. So yeah, really happy with Botanical. Again, this is a really cheap frame, and this frame I don't even have to cut it. I know that the space here and top and bottom it's bigger than on the size, but I love that my fabric can be see with this frame. So yeah, I think that is my report for this week. I'm so glad to be talking with you about cross stitch and about the things that we love and sharing through these videos. First the love for the community, then the love for this hobby, and share experiences and learning together. So I'm going to finish this video now because again I can be talking about cross stitch all day long, but I have to to take care of another things. But so glad that we could talk, and thank you for all of you who have been buying me a cup of coffee. If you want to buy me a coffee, you can follow the link. I will leave a link in the description box. And with these coffees, sometimes I get a coffee, sometimes I order a new pattern. So yeah, it's always amazing. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.